We're in today with Radeon HD 5870. This is a 2009 video card with 1600 shaders. It's got 1 gig of VRAM GDDR5 Samsung, 256 bits bus width with DirectX 11 support, running at 850 MHz on the core clock and 1200 MHz on the memory clock. I'm going to pair it up with this i7 7th Gen with 4 cores and 8 threads. I'm going to see how this legendary 2009 video card is holding today with DirectX 11 support. That's very important considering the age of the video card. Let's jump in a couple of games and see how this legend of a video card is still holding. Let's start with Fortnite on 1080p with performance mode with 50% render scale. If we have any problems with the VRAm, we're going to lower the 3D resolution and we're going to get some performance with the cost of the quality. Let's jump in. We're averaging really good in Fortnite with this video card, 100 FPS, 120. Actually see normal details here. The details are now 50% render scale. You know, this is how it looks on low details with performance mode, but it's giving me over 100 FPS on average, 24 on minimals and 60-70 on 1%. Good numbers considering it's Fortnite and this is a 2009 video card. On the VRAM side, we're using 8.8 gig of VRAM, 60% load on the core, and 68 degrees on the GPU. In a way, the video card it's a little hot, but I will take a look in the future and see how this core can be cool, because this video card is way too loud here. On the CPU side, we're getting like 50-60% load on the CPU. Everything is okay with the CPU. No stress on the temperature. 8.1 gig of system RAM utilized here to deliver the performance. I will say an average of performance in Fortnite is kind of okay depending on the resolution and the render scale you want in the game. But in Battlefield 3, we are getting nearly 100 FPS on average, and the performance here is quite fantastic with 1080p and low details. This is one of those games that needs to be run on this video card, and can actually see that is delivering nice averages here, over 100 FPS with 69 on minimals and 79 on 1%. Good numbers, maximum core load, 52 degrees. I had to put over 3000 RPM in order to keep this GPU cool. And it's a bit loud and it's only with 50% load on the fan. Imagine nearly 5000 RPM on this video card and you get sound of a Hoover, seriously. Come on, you're mine. Bang! Break him! Break him! Break him! Vehicle disabled, yes! But in Team Fortress, we are running with 200 FPS on average. Let's see how much we got on minimals and 1%. This is going to be a very interesting performance overall. I like Team Fortress because it's running with older hardware really well. And it's very populated with players, seriously. Look at this. I'm on low details with 1080p, so you can understand how the GPU is performing. Really nice, seriously, 200. I mean, 1% and minimals are actually very extreme here in the situation. You can actually see I got like 13 minimals and hundreds of 1%, but it doesn't make any sense. But this is doing a fantastic job. The GPU is so powerful. The bus width is extreme on this. 260 FPS on average with this video card. 0.4 gig of VRAM utilized in this occasion and 40% load on the core. That's a good performance from this video card. Seriously, 850 on the core clock and 3000 RPM on the fan in order to deliver 47-48 degrees temperature on the core. But in War Thunder, we are getting hundreds of FPS on minimal, and I had to put minimals because I want to see this GPU running like a dog. Look at that, hundreds of FPS. Minimal, but it looks okay even on minimals with 0.9 gig of VRAM utilized, 99% load on the core. It looks and it runs fantastic. Seriously, I like low details. I like low details in a game, so I can't complain here. So look at this. CPU has no problem, 40 degrees. 40% load on the CPU, 6.1 gig of system RAM used only. That is a very good performance, seriously. Even the GPU, now on low details unlocked, this is going to get 99% load on the GPU, 0.9 gig of VRAM and 58 degrees on the GPU because it's delivering 150 FPS on average, 31 minimals and 106 on 1%. And it's good, you know, it's a good performance from this video card. But in Warframe with 1080p on low details, apparently we're getting hundreds of FPS. I'm actually curious to see how this is working with this video card. Kind of interesting to see the performance, I'm not gonna lie. This is exactly what I need from a game like this. It's using the video card on maximum, 58 degrees, and it's using 98% load on the core. The game looks really fantastic, even on low details. Look at this. I like it overall, seriously. Warframe, it's an old game and it's kind of fantastic overall, seriously. 0.8 gig of VRAM utilized. It's using the video card and it's using the core overall, seriously, and is delivering the performance. Look at this, 150 FPS on average, 34 on minimal, 100 on 1%. Well, this is the right game for this video card. The core clock is 815, that's on the spot, and there is no problem with this video card. But in PUBG, you will get 40 FPS, 45 FPS with 1080p and low details. I got 70% render scale, and I can guarantee you that this is not the right experience, but it does the job, and I will not complain. This is not the right experience, you know. I just wanted to power up the game and see how the game is performing, because I remember back in the days there ran old video cards with this game and they were all bad. But nowadays you can actually see it's running, still running on old video cards. So I will say, yeah, PUBG is still on the spot with old video cards. 98% load on the core, 0.9 gig of VRAM used. This is maximum, seriously, this is maximum load on the video card, and it's only generating 50 FPS. The CPU has no problem in this case with 60, actually it's utilizing 60% load on the CPU. I will say it's using. Let's see how the game is performing with this video card on low details with 1080p. Averaging pretty well with this video card in the game, over 100 FPS average, 61 on minimals and 69 on 1%. Only 0.6 gig of VRAM utilized, only 50% core utilization from the video card. I will say this is a very good and decent performance from the video card, but hopefully in a team fight we're gonna get better minimals. Hopefully it doesn't drop too low. Kinda weird to see this performance from this video card and how well it's running, seriously. On the CPU side, we're getting around 50% load on the CPU, 30 watts consumption, and 9.2 gig of system RAM utilized here. That's a good performance from the system in Dota, but you know, Dota is not utilizing too much the system, so I will say the only load will be on the video card. You can increase the details, the render scale, everything that you want in the game, maybe even lock it to 60 FPS if you want, and I think the power consumption will be even better for this video card. But in GTA 5, we are getting hundreds of FPS on average with 1080p and 50% render scale. I put it on 50% render scale because I didn't know how the GPU is going to hold with that 1 gig of VRAM. Apparently it's utilized that 1 gig of VRAM, but only 80-90% load on the core. So the GPU is doing a fantastic job overall. The clock speed on the video card is maxed out. The GPU's fan is doing the job, 50 degrees with 3000 RPM. It's a very loud video card, I'm not gonna lie. And on the averages, we're getting 53 and 67 on minimal and 1%. Those are really good numbers for an old video card like this. I can't believe how nice this video card is working. On the CPU side, we're getting like 70-80% load on the CPU. 8.6 gig of system RAM, that's good. And I want to see some details on the CPU actually. In the CPU side, you look at the threads, man. The threads are maxed out, seriously. I mean, a couple of them, they are maxed out, and yeah, the CPU is actually doing the job. Nearly 40 watts consumption. So I will say this is a win overall with the whole system. In Counter-Strike 2, this is what you're going to get. 70, around the 50 and 70 FPS on average. 5 minimals, 12 on 1%, 0.9 gig of VRAM utilized, and 90% load on the core. In some situations it's dropping below, but yeah, you can actually see the spikes are not good with your video card. I've seen some moments nearly 100 on frame time, and that is not a good thing for your graph to see. I mean, if I get 5 on frame time, I will say thank you because I get high FPS, but in this situation the spikes are everywhere. On the system side, I'll get 10.2 gig of system RAM utilized and around 50% load on the CPU, in some cases with 60 maximum. 35 under 40 watts consumption on the CPU, and on the CPU side we're getting a couple of threads that are reaching maximum, and hence why we got those dips in the frame time. I'm guessing those are the problems in this case, but it's Counter-Strike 2, so you need to understand the game is new and the CPU it's not that new. In World of Tanks we're averaging pretty well with around 80 FPS on average, with 44 on minimals and 57 on 1%. I will say this is a big win for this video card, considering the quality that I put medium, that is beyond low entry quality. It's utilizing 99% load, 100% load on the core, 0.8 gig of VRAM used, and I think this is one of those games that is actually working pretty well with this video card. 850 on the core clock. I say this is a good performance from this. 3100 RPM is delivering 57 degrees on the GPU, so that's a good temperature. On the system itself, we're getting 6 gig of system RAM utilized from this computer, and what, 40-50% load on the CPU. I will say that this is okay, and only 40-43 degrees on the CPU. The CPU is not being utilized and it's under 30 watts consumption. I will say this is fantastic performance from the CPU side. Yeah, I have nothing to complain about this video card, even if it's this old, seriously, 2009. Now, I will say this is an available video card, 5870, but there is one with 2 gig of VRAM, and that Infinity model, in i-Infinity or something, that is a very rare video card. So if you manage to put your hands on a rare video card like that with 2 gig of VRAM, then you're golden, because you managed to see that this video card it's actually capable and it's got a powerful core, and if you had 2 gig of VRAM it would have been fantastic overall. Even like this, I still like the video card. Even like this, I still recommend it as an old video card for an old machine. It's a very how shall I say, capable video card overall, and I think even today is still available to buy it cheap. In the future, I don't know. At this stage, I will say I'm very proud of the video card, and if you manage to find it interesting, you know, if you like the benchmark, make sure you smash that like button. If you have any suggestion in the future with this video card or with the system, leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you very soon.